once we analyze all of this together in one block, then we go to define interventions. So we know the gaps, we know the causes, and then now we want to see what are the intervention needed to be done, okay, in order to address and abridge those gaps. So the interventions are two groups. One group which is relating to interventions, and the other is called business case. The interventions can be in learning, like training, for performance support, job analysis, work design, personal development, human resource development, organization communication, organization design, and development, financial system, etc. All these together represent the environmental intervention that a consultant or an outsider or from within the company or utility can bring to the table. The business case, this is like requires the leadership commitment in this change, feasibility of those interventions, and the sustainability. So those two together, those two groups together can represent the intervention. So we come first like laundry list, and then we take from that laundry list the intervention that we can define and we can implement in addressing those gaps. Now, once we define, we shortlist those, and we see which one are the leadership are committed to, which of these are feasible, that within the capability, within the readiness of this utility, and then are they sustainable or not? Those are important in the interventions. Those are important in the performance solutions. So once we define those, then we go to the implementation and maintenance. So sometimes we say, okay, we do this intervention, but we don't care about to maintain it. And that's this model look at that too. So we have the part, in order to implement and maintain, we need to have like partnering, networking, like what we have witnessed a while ago between the VTC and the Aqua, that they have this network, okay? This is, I think, it's very important step. Then we have process consulting, employee development. So if we hire some people in this organization, the utility, and we thought that this is, we hired an engineer, and we thought that this engineer doesn't need like development. Like in many organizations where they can hire people, but they have to maintain, for example, 11 days of training. So they have to do employee development so that they can maintain those talents within the utility. And that is discussed in this model. Project management, others. Now, all these together, the first process, the first phase, the second phase, and the third phase, the evaluation, it has to be evaluated. All this process has to be evaluated. As we know, we have the formative evaluation, we have the summative evaluation, and we have the confirmative, which talk about the effectiveness, which is which this refers to Kirkpatrick evaluation model, the 5 phases of evaluation. Now, this is primarily, this is the strongest, I think, based on my 25 plus years of experience in capacity building, I think this is the most powerful, easy, feasible, easy to transfer into organizations. Now, in like I think about 8 years ago, the USID, as the UNDP, as other donors, they adopted certain models for capacity development. There is no right or wrong, but the HICD model, which is now it's like big hot potato now in the development in developing countries that are funded by USID. It is the same. It's almost the same, but it's more simplified. So we go to the left, consider constitutional. It's called institutional context, which we talk about the mission, goals, strategies, and that is the desired. Then we go to the organizational culture, client, community perspectives, and then those two, we have 2 offshoots. One, which is the defined desired performance. Where are the organization want to head? Then what is the actual performance? Performance both the environmental and individuals. Okay, these are the actual performance. Between the two, we define the gaps, deficiencies, you want to call that, performance gaps. Then from that, we head to the next, which is the find roots, causes. Why does the performance gaps exist? So we answer the question why. Then we go to the next, select performance solutions. We come up with the menu, a la carte. What are those solutions? And we say, okay, which one we want to choose? Then we implement. Usually, most projects, they come up and they stop with a select performance solution, which they call it action plan. They don't care about the implement performance solutions. And I think this is a kind of, some donors, some contractors, they will leave that organization in a puzzle. You tell them, okay, you are sick, here are the report, the lab report, but I'm not going to give you the medicine. And that gives a lot of headache to the management in those organizations. As you see here, there are two, there is a ceiling and there is a ground. The first in the top, you've got obtain and maintain a stakeholder agreement. If you want this flow to work well, you need to obtain and maintain a stakeholder agreement. Because this is like either the break or make of those solutions. And in the bottom, that is important, which is the monitor and evaluate performance. So between these two lanes, those steps and blocks need to be aware of. So we have phase 1, performance analysis, phase 2, action plan, and phase 3, implementation. Okay? And this is the HICD model, which can be implemented across the board. It can be implemented in utilities, in Ministry of Water. It can be implemented by like any government or NGO. This is a very good model, which is USAID's invest millions of dollars on this. Now, okay, we are in the water conference. So how this relate to the utilities? In the utilities, there is a famous, in the US, there is a famous model which is called EUM, which is Effective Utility Management Model. This is a model that agreed on at the beginning by 6 organizations, which are the leading in the water sector, and then the other 4. So by 2017, the latest, there are 10 organizations now are signing this agreement about those attributes and 5 keys to management success. We will see them shortly. EUM have take 360-degree look at your utility and then set priorities, the work for you and your community. EUM help protect current infrastructure investment and ensure that the utility workforce is motivated and able to address the challenges that they face every day. AUM move manager from reacting only to hot priorities of the day to proactively planning for the future. AUM help engage staff in the process of assessing and charting the utility on course for the future. AUM is simple, actionable, affordable, and scalable to meet the needs of the utilities. I implemented this in Egypt, the AUM, okay, between 2008 and 2011, okay? But there were some gaps in it. So my approach to here is based on these 2 models, the model of the HICD, which is I'm certified in, okay? I'm CBT certified performance technologist, and the EUM, which I implemented for 3 years, and I found through this presentation a solution or a mechanism how we can, the marriage between these 2 models can address you bring the best of this model and the best of this model and you integrate them together for the benefit of the EUM, for the benefit of the utilities. Those are the 10 attributes of the utilities that they agreed on. They said that effective utility management should have those 10 attributes: product quality, employee and leadership development, financial viability, operational resiliency, water resource adequacy, customer satisfaction, operational optimization, infrastructure stability, community sustainability, and stakeholder understanding and support. Those in the bottom, as you see them, those are the 10 organizations, and those are the top notch of professional organization in the US. If you want to talk about water in the US, those are the 10. You can't miss it. Those who know, who have some engagement in the water sector in the States, they know that these are the 10 top organizations. And there is the reference for this document that I think those are the attributes. Okay, now, since we have now, okay, so we have now the HPT, the Human Performance Technology, we have the HICD, the Human and Institutional Capacity Development, and then we have the EUM. So let's first shorthand the first two. What are those between the HICD and the HPT? Simply, there are three phases. There are three phases. Phase 1, analysis. Phase 2, interventions. Phase 3, evaluation. This is how this gentleman, mostly is like one of the top gurus in performance, the fundamental of performance technology. He said, okay, this could be one way of looking at this, simplification. All right? Here is the marriage between the two. You got, from the left, we got the three phases. Phase 1, institutional performance analysis. Phase 2, action plan. Phase 3, implementation. Now, the EUM is on the left. This is when we do the analysis, we look at those 10 attributes within the utility. We look at the product quality. EUM has very, very good assessment tool, how to capture the current situation. It takes each one of these, and it's very simple, very beautiful. Even we did translation that in Arabic in Egypt for that tool. Now, once we did the analysis, we define the desired performance, the actual performance, which is the second one from the left, the gaps. Then we define the gaps. Now, once we define the gaps, we go to the causes. The causes, we go back to the HPT model that we discussed in the earlier slide. Then we have performance solutions. We go about the round list, and then we shortlist those solutions. And we see them, which one is feasible, which one is good for the organization, which one the management can commit themselves to. And this is the institutional and the human. So the solution will be addressing the institutional level. For example, let's say about the restructuring. They want, for example, this utility need to be restructured. So this is kind of institutional. The human. Do we need this number of people in this organization? Do we need to go through rationalization? Do they need what kind of entry skills those new hires? Do we need to have a marriage between the two? Like, do we need to have develop 6-month orientation program for the new hires? All these kind of things, yeah, you come with this package of solutions. Which one is the high priority? Which one need to be done this year? Which one can be delayed to the year? For example, the one that SONEDE did, that they have this HR strategy or business plan between 2016 to 2020. Okay, so these kind of things that can be generated from this process. And then the implementation. So as you see here, the beginning mirrors the end. The beginning mirrors the end. So here we have analysis for each of those 10 attributes. Solutions will be related to each of those attributes. So the EUM together is the beginning and the end. So that is the beauty about this analysis. This is the 10 attributes that requires management success. There are 5 items that management success. Leadership, strategic business planning, knowledge management, measurement, we need to measure. If it's not measured, you can't manage. And then we have continual improvement management. In summary, EUM plus HICD will give you effective road map for human and institutional utility performance improvement. Thank you very much. This is my last slide.
Thank you for your presentation. Our third speaker for today will be Engineer Hani Khleifat. Engineer Hani has a BS degree in mechanical engineer. His key qualifications and expertise are, among others, training of trainers, curriculum development, survey and tracer studies, testing and evaluation of training programs, and job profile and occupational standards. He has obtained more than 50 national and international certificates, and he has attended more than 15 national and international conferences in TVET. Besides that, he has presented more than 50 papers in national and international conferences and workshops and taught more than 3,000 training hours for public, private sectors and local communities. Please, Engineer Hani, your presentation.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, everybody. My presentation in Arabic, for that I will talk in Arabic, and I think there is a translation for English.
Just the presentation.
Yes. Yes. سنتحدث في هذا المساء عن مؤسسة التدريب المهني بشكل عام وعن مركز التدريب المتميز للمياه والبيئة بشكل خاص. طبعا المؤسسة تستلهم استراتيجياتها وسياسات عملها من توجيهات القيادة، وجلالة سيدنا دائما يركز على قضية التعليم والتدريب المهني والتقني كأحد أدوات التنمية الاقتصادية والاجتماعية. سنتحدث عن المؤسسة بشكل عام ومن ثم ننطلق إلى الحديث عن مشاريع دولية بمجال التدريب لقطاع المياه، ومن ثم سنركز على مركز تميز للمياه والبيئة. المؤسسة أنشئت سنة 1976 بهدف رفض سوق العمل الأردني بالقوى العاملة المدربة والمؤهلة في مختلف البرامج والمستويات والتخصصات المهنية غير الأكاديمية. ولدينا 3 أهداف أو غايات رئيسة. الهدف الأول التدريب نفسه، التدريب المهني، والهدف الثاني تطوير المؤسسات الصغيرة والمتوسطة، والثالث هو تنظيم ممارسة العمل المهني من خلال تصنيف المحلات المهن والعاملين فيها. ورؤيتنا أن نكون متميزين دائما وأبدا في قضايا التدريب وفق أفضل الممارسات العملية. أهدافنا الاستراتيجية، لدينا 4 أهداف استراتيجية رئيسة. الهدف الأول رفع كفاءة وفاعلية المؤسسة من حيث المدخلات والعمليات والمخرجات، ورفع كفاءة وفاعلية منظومة التدريب المهني وفق متطلبات سوق العمل والمعايير الدولية. والهدف الثالث المساهمة في إعداد سياسات التدريب المهني لتمكين مجلس الإيتيفت من تحقيق أهدافه. والهدف الاستراتيجي الرابع زيادة مشاركة القطاع الخاص والNGOs في العملية التدريبية، أو ما يسمى PPP Public Private Partnership. أين تقع المؤسسة من منظومة الموارد البشرية في الأردن التي يديرها 3 مجالس: مجلس الإيتيفت، مجلس التشغيل والتدريب والتعليم المهني والتقني، ومجلس التربية والتعليم، ومجلس التعليم العالي. التعليم العالي يتناول قضايا التعليم ما بعد الثانوية العامة، ومجلس التربية والتعليم يتناول قضايا التعليم العام من بدءا من رياض الأطفال وانتهاء بالثانوية العامة، ومجلس التشغيل والتدريب والتعليم المهني والتقني يعنى ببرامج التعليم والتدريب المهني والتقني. وتحت هذا المجلس هناك منظومة من الجهات من ضمنها جامعة البلقاء التطبيقية والمدارس المهنية بوزارة التربية، المؤسسة نفسها، الشركة الوطنية، والقطاع الخاص، بالإضافة إلى مركز الاعتماد وضبط الجودة والصناديق التمويلية ووزارة العمل كجهة تعنى بقضايا التشغيل. هذا الهيكل يمثل مسار